Today I'm going to show you how to make a basic skirt block. This will be your base pattern for almost every skirt variation you will want to make in the future. To start, you are going to need a large piece of paper. If you are buying paper, you are best to buy the plain brown wrapping paper. Otherwise, you can use leftover wrapping paper from Christmas or birthdays. Once you have your paper ready, you need to take note of your body measurements. For this skirt block, you will need your waist measurement, hip measurement, the vertical distance between your hip to waist, and your desired skirt length. Taking your waist measurement requires you to measure around the smallest part of your torso. This should be just above your belly button. To measure your hip, take the measuring tape and measure around the largest part of your hip or bottom. This is usually around 20 centimeters below your waistline. Next, you will want to take note of how far the distance is between your measured waistline and hip line. We call this the waist to hip measurement. As mentioned, it is usually around 20 centimeters, but if your body measurements are less or more, please take note of your body measurement and the distance between the waist and hip. The final measurement is your skirt length. This is measured from the hip down. Write down your desired skirt length. For this video, I'll be making the skirt length 40 centimeters from the. Now we have our measurements, it's time to draw the pattern. Draw a horizontal line to mark the top of your skirt. Then draw a vertical line down the center of the page. From the top horizontal line, mark your waist to hip measurement on the vertical line and square left and right. Name this line hip. Now that we have the hip line, we can start to draw the front and back of the skirt. From your hip line, measure down the vertical line to the length of your skirt. Mine is 40 centimeters. Square left and right. Name this hemline. Patterns are made in quarters. The back of your skirt will be left of the vertical line and the front of the skirt will be on the right. Before you continue, you might want to add a couple of centimeters to the hip and waist measurement of your skirt. This will give your pattern a little more of an allowance for movement. I'm going to add 2 centimeters to the hip and 1 centimeter to the waist. The front quarters of your skirt block will be created 1.5 centimeters wider than the back. This makes the front of your skirt a total of 3 centimeters wider than the back. To get the front width measurement of your pattern, simply divide your hip measurement by 2. For me, that's 95 divided by 2, giving me 47.5 centimeters. Now you will need to minus 1.5 centimeters from this calculation, which will give us the back skirt width. The total width of the back of my skirt is 46 centimeters. Divide this by 2 to obtain the quarter measurement and mark the back width measurement of your skirt along the hip line to the left side of your vertical line. In my case, it's 23 centimeters. Square up and down and name this your center back. Now to create the front. Remember the front measurement quarter is 1.5 centimeters wider than the back. In my case, it's 23 plus 1.5, giving me 24.5 centimeters. Mark this to the right of your vertical line and square up and down. Name this your center front. Now we're going to create the darts. The position of the darts may vary depending on how your body curves. Pick your desired location and mark the width from the center back and center front vertical lines. For my pattern, I'm going to position the darts 8 centimeters from the center back and the center front. Square up towards the top horizontal line and name this line your waistline. The new vertical line from your waistline is the center of your dart. On the back of your skirt, we're going to create a 4 centimeter dart. From the center of your dart, measure 2 centimeters to the left and right. We want to shorten the dart so it does not create a tight fit all the way to the hip line. To do this, you will want it roughly 7 to 8 centimeters above your true hip line. Mark and draw the darts. The front of the skirt will only have a 2 centimeter dart since we have less curves at the front. Repeat the process, but this time we only want a short dart. I'm using 10 centimeters from the waistline. To finish the skirt block, we need to draw the waist. To measure how far we curve the side seam of the skirt block inwards, we will need to minus the total width of our dart from the hip measurement, since the darts will close the fabric. For the front, we will need to bring the side in by 4.5 centimeters to bring us to the new measurement of 18 centimeters. Curve the line from your waist to the hip. Congratulations, you have created your basic skirt block. You can now use this block to start any skirt creation. Remember, seam allowance is only added once you're ready to sew your new design. Learn how to make a pencil skirt from this base pattern in our next tutorial.